The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host/guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any of BXR entities and those they represent.
Hey, y'all know I got coming dancing. Hey, what do you know? It's Thursday and you are back, came through with me. Come on through, y'all, because you know that I love to talk to you. It's the goddess, ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix, and we got a show for you tonight, one that you are going to live for. Now, I thought that I was going to have some guests, and one guest that I had, I pushed them back, thinking that I had somebody else. But on that note, guess what? The show is always open for guests. You want to talk to me? Come on, let's talk about it. You got that business. You got some business that you want somebody to know. This is the show. This is the platform for you to do it. So you know how we do. God loves you. God bless you. Giving all honor and glory to God. Thank you, God. We start the show off on You Better Live with that prayer. We all coming here together. So guess what? We're going to make it known how much we love the Lord and how much he has truly, truly blessed us. So God, we come now with humble hearts saying, thank you, oh Father God, for you know in the midst of everything that's going on, oh Father God, you continue to help get us through. Right now, God, bless the hearts of everyone right now, anyone that's suffering, anyone that's hurting, Lord, anyone that's experiencing loss, Lord, from a loved one or loss with something within their self, oh Father God. Continue to use me, continue to use this You Better Live radio show to encourage people that in spite of all things, you better live. God, thank you. Bless everyone watching and everyone who did not get the opportunity to do so. Oh yeah, we living. Amen. 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 Yeah, that's how we do it. We started off giving all praises and glories to God. But just like I was saying, I got an awesome show for y'all. Y'all already know how I run it. The what in the worlds and the what in the whats. Those be like my little segments. But, you know, we're going to update on some stuff that then came up on previous shows. Yes, y'all. I've been doing this right now since what, 8/11? Oh, yeah, the show came through as a mighty Leo. And we still reigning. Even though it's Virgo season, the Libra, is it Libra up next? Yeah, Libra season is approaching. So, hey. You know what it is. But I've been doing this for more than 30 days right now. Not 30 shows quite yet, but I'm on the morning and I'm in the making, y'all. So just like I said, y'all are watching the start of something so spectacular because it's already fed. Oh, yeah, you know you better live for it. So every time before I come on the show, I'll be like, what is the topic? I don't know. I had to switch it up because it was one thing, but what I'm thinking is, look here. I got some stuff to talk to you about. So what's up? What's what? Let's get into it. I brought it up last week, letting everybody know about Anon Saeed. Yeah, let me do the spelling because y'all already know my tongue be flipping and flapping, baby, and I can do some mispronunciations. But the brother, everybody know, here in Baltimore City was released on Monday. Yes, his sentence, his murder conviction was vacated, deeming that it was evidence that the prosecution never made available for the defense. So he was released. He's released right now, and he is on home monitor, awaiting the decision. I think 30 days if the state's attorney office wants to pursue a new trial. So, yeah, I hope that it was me right here. I spoke life into that situation along with a lot of you. And the brother has been released after 20-something years. Yes, He was convicted when he was 18 years old, and now he is 42. A lot of sources are saying that his conviction had a lot to do with racial profiling. They released a lot of statements saying that they definitely focus on the fact that he was a Palestinian as well as his religion was a Muslim. And a lot of activists on social and racial injustice are saying that it happens all the time. So the question is, how many Mr. Saeeds are there out there in the world? I'm sure plenty. But I am grateful to God that he was released. Now, the family of Miss Ming Lee is feeling some type of way, feeling slighted, of course, because they believe that he killed their family member. Marilyn Mosby made comments that she understands, but she also had to make and assure that Mr. Saeed also had fair justice as well. Now, our state's attorney general, Brian Frost, yes, he's saying that the information that they're saying was never provided is not true, that the state always had the file available to them. I guess like his criminal whole file or whatever, and they could see whatever witnesses or whatever that they had. But the judge on Monday ruled in his favor and said that was not the case. So we're going to see, and we're going to see if in 30 days are they going to take him back to court for a new trial. He's been fighting for a very long time, even back in 19, I think, early in the 2000s or whatever, when he was going for all of his appeals and such, and he was being denied. So if you just see the pictures, from him being 18, going into this system, and now he's 40 plus. Wow. So my question is, do y'all think he's going to get paid? I mean, it was vacated. He wasn't necessarily found innocent, but they were basically saying that he was due a vacate of his sentence because of this new evidence that came about. Now, and I shared with y'all that I watched the HBO documentary regarding the whole case. And just from watching the case, I always felt that he was innocent. And that's why I really didn't even have a liking for Daryl Faraja, because he was included in a documentary where it was up to him. It was kind of like up to him. And he was one of the ones that decided no. He basically wanted the brother to say that he was guilty and he will release him in the next year. But he stuck to his ethics, he stuck to his morals, and he said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I've been locked up this long, and I know that I'm innocent, and I'm not going to say that I'm guilty just to get out. So power to him. I can remember watching the documentary, and I was like, what in the world? I don't know if I would have had that strength or that faith, but he did. And now he's free. And if you watched any of the footage from when he was released from court, immediately released, the judge said, you can join your family. To him, he made statements already saying that it just didn't seem real. And I can only imagine. So we don't know what's going to go on with the case, but right now we know what's happened. He has been released. Yay. Yeah, sometimes I swear to goodness, you question the justice system so much. So when you see things of that nature happen and occur, it kind of makes you question it even more. But it kind of gave me a little bit more faith back into the justice system. And talking about justice and what in the world, your boy Trump, we talked about him a lot of times, right? Not a lot of times, because I don't want to be talking about him like that. But Trump days to be trumping folks is numbered. Yes, he already has this mess and his tragic stuff from the raid at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Oh yeah. Now the state of New York. Yes. The state attorney, Miss Letitia Jones, has just filed a lawsuit against Trump, his children, his companies, saying that he inflated his net worth by billions. So They basically are alleging that he fraudulently inflated his income, fraudulently lied and said that properties were worth more than they were worth, for certain loans to receive, as well as to receive certain tax breaks. So while he's still dealing with the raid, I know that the Department of Justice just filed an appeal, so they could still continue to review the documents, because you remember Trump wanted a special judge to actually review them, citing that a lot of the documents that were removed from his home were client attorney privilege documents, and he even said that they took his will. This man, he says anything. I also seen him on a statement making jokes about, well, what were they looking for? Hillary Clinton emails? Someone questioned, oh, so you saying that they were there? No, 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 no. But anyway, yeah, the state's attorney, the attorney general, sorry, correction, Miss Letitia Jones, sues Donald Trump, his companies, and widespread fraud claims. And he is facing up to $250 million in penalties. Basically, she is saying that people of this wealth get along away with things like this for way too long. And he is definitely, oh, James, thank you. Let me stop right there and first give a shout out to my awesome producer, Monty Wiley. He is the man. Y'all just don't understand. The face of Be Exposed Radio, and always keep me on point. Let me know, not only what my pronunciations, but him being so busy. I am so grateful that he makes sure that I get to come through for y'all on every Thursday. So big shout out to him. And also, wait a minute, my station brother, Nate Kauser, with the Audix Exchange radio show. Look, I'm rocking his earrings. These is definitely custom Veston blues, Vestar blues. So definitely holla at them. They look good, don't they? But yeah, let me get back to this Trump. Those are my shout outs. I got some more shout outs because I got some supporters that have been looking and viewing me since day one. My boy Mike, my girl Shalina, who was a guest last week on the show, my sister Keisha, my mom, my sister-in-law Irene, my brother Conti, just everybody that I know that checks in every Thursday. If they not watching, they definitely listening. And y'all don't know how grateful I am for y'all. So don't be afraid and don't be shy to like, share, and comment, because this is my show, but this is for you. You know how we do. Yeah, talking about the boy Trump, like I said, he is ready to run out of his days of trumping people. Comma. Y'all know he even made a comment about Attorney General Miss James, stating another witch hunt by a racist Attorney General. Are you serious? They call this lady a racist. He also even joked about it in an interview with Fox News, saying that he didn't think that the case would come to be until he seen her poll numbers, right? So I'm like, this guy blame anybody and anything aside from taking responsibility for himself. But he's still going around, he's still campaigning, and he's still talking on other people campaigning in support of them, right? Of course, the Republican party, but it's just crazy to me, because this very same thing about this fraud thing is something that they're trying to take our current, even though she's ready to be out of there January 6th, Marilyn Mosby. See, they saying she lied about her money as well, but she ain't take nothing from nobody. What they are alleging, do you understand that this man, a former president, is more than likely ready to get some charges brung up against him? And in my opinion, it's valid. I mean, basically, they were saying one of the properties up in New York, right, that was like not so many square feet. Let's just say it was 100 square feet. Like, he lied and said that it was more, so it can be appraised at a higher value. Now, of course, he's trying to say that he had outside sources that was helping him with his accounting and his finances and filing his taxes or whatever. But the Attorney General says that there's no evidence of such, and that he deliberately and purposely did this. She's saying that it's one of the most egregious acts that she's ever seen. So, I mean, what y'all think about it? I think his time and karma is finally catching up with him. And guess what? I'm for it. Of course, he would deem the lady being racist because she's black and he's white. But no, white don't make you right, Trump. White don't make you right. And you wrong. You wanted them special tax breaks. You lied about your assets, about his net worth by billions of dollars, by billions, by billions, by billions, by billions, not only for himself, but also for property. So that means, like I said, he had additional tax breaks that he would not have received, as well as receiving loans that he may have not been eligible for if his income was reported correctly. So y'all look out for that, y'all. Y'all look out for that because this type of stuff that's happening in the justice system and this type of stuff that we're seeing around the world, even though it's a what in the world, is definitely going to shape the world and shape how the justice system moves along. It really is. It really is. And for this to be such a high profile case, the Department of Justice and especially appealing to the judge who wanted to first put a lot on those documents and now is saying, nope, okay, the other documents, but we need to see these ones that were saying that they was classified and they don't want to be a block to be on that. So yeah, he's being sued by New York City. And it's also that mess keep going on about that raid. And I really think that karma is catching up with Trump. You know, a lot of people favored Trump, you know, in his presidency because he was just known for being radical, saying whatever he wanted to say. But truth be told, in my opinion, I always had to say that nothing that he's ever really said or done has done anything, you know. So while he was thinking that it has, I'm not saying hasn't done anything, but what I'm saying is that hasn't really had a positive impact that sitting at that seat is supposed to have. You get what I'm saying? Do you really? Do you really? Let's talk about it. I'm open. The chat is open for comments. Always feel free to call 443-642-9403. Talk to me because you know I love to talk to you. So yeah, Trump, the days of trumping people, baby, looking like they being numbered. Because if it ain't one thing, it's another. And my thing is, people ain't talking about you and saying all this stuff for so long. Some of it got to be, he crooked. He crooked. He a crooked, shady businessman. He's a crooked, shady businessman. He is. But I know it's people out here. I like to make those comments because maybe I can get a Trump lover that want to debate and go back and forth because, hey, I'm up for it. I'm up for it. I am up for it. Say what you want to say. That's just the way that I feel about the man. And me making those comments, if I make it on the line, like he'll probably say that I'm racist too because I'm black. But Trump, go ahead with all of that. Okay, those are the what in the world. So I always have another one. I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about because guess what? Right now, I'm here talking about myself. Like I said, I thought that I was going to have these guests lined up. I had another one lined up, but I told him, nope, I'm going to push you back. And I don't even know if I'm going to be here seeing you next week because the producer is going on vacay. And my suggestion is enjoy. I'll see y'all the following Thursday after. He better not be telling me, oh, Chaz, we still going to do the show. I didn't inquire, but that's the no, Monty. You hear me? My guy up in the sky. My guy up in the sky. Some other one in the world was what I was seeing in the news. A lady was beheaded. Let me see where this is at. Because I was like, this is just crazy. Yes, man uses a sword to behead a lady. It looks like they were in a relationship or something of the sort. Sources are not confirming if he was actually the father of her children. But yes, in San Carlos, California, a man used a sword to behead a young mother or two. Isn't that crazy? Oh my goodness. legal documentation supports and says that she did have a restraining order on him. So it was some issues or some indications of domestic violence or some issues before. But she had broke it off with him, and he came and he cut her head off, y'all, with a sword. I mean, they said the scene was so devastating that they even had to provide some type of mental help and mental support to all of the officers, the medical personnel, and everyone who reported to the scene. So can you imagine showing up, somebody's body laying there and someone's head is under the car? Now, it was right in front of her house. Her kids were inside, I believe one being 9 years old and one or two. I'm gonna look back at the information when I get a chance, but I want to look at y'all and talk to y'all, right? Now, they said that when they came and they approached, the children were taken into custody as well as two family pets. They are saying that the kids did not witness it, but were crying that they wanted their mother. So just reading this, I was like, wow, 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 wow. So it looks like she was doing what she was needed to do to protect herself. But unfortunately, when you're messing with crazy people, people do crazy things, because you is definitely a crazy person. Like, to cut somebody's head off. Oh my goodness. Yes. They saying the head was underneath the car and she was laying at the back of the car. Oh my goodness. Whoo. And all they could do was just cover her up. So pray for those children. Pray for her family out in there. It's just, oh my goodness. It's just so crazy. And she was a young lady too. Mid-20s is our report. And I'm looking at all of this on my laptop to give y'all some facts about it. But yeah, this happened last week, Friday, September the 9th. Don't it be amazing? All of the stuff that be happening over the world, all this turmoil, all this tragedy and everything else, it definitely had you like, what in the world? But all of us are like in the world. All of us are here together. And I think about that also, like when I think about life, like, okay, we living every day all around the world. People are dying every day. And just the fact that you are living right now in this moment, right here with me, regardless of what's going on, you are truly, truly blessed, because, right, you just never know. Nobody knows the time, the day, or the hour, the day of the hour. The day of the hour, the time is the day and the hour, when they will go and when they will transition. But wow, that is just like the worst, to go in that manner, to be, killed. I always have a fear of drowning, burning, or unfortunately living in Baltimore City, being murdered. You know what I mean? But guess what? I walk by faith and not what's in my face, and I will not dwell or live in fear. But yes, y'all, it is serious out here. I always see sometimes on Facebook, I do my hashtags. This is real life, and you better live. Hold on, what else I had something to talk to y'all about? I'm gonna run it on through on the what and the what's, and then I also have like a what was it? What I called it or whatever. But well, I'm gonna say, what do you know? I didn't really name that section, but remember when I told y'all that y'all can send me, inbox me questions, scenarios, different situations that you are in that you need some answers to. May not get the answers through here, but at least some clarity. So if you're going through something, if you got a question or you've been through something already and you just need some clarity, or you want to know how others feel about it, this is the place to have an open discussion about it. Now, if you want me to name you, you want to come on and talk to me about it, we can do that. But if not, I'll just pose your question and see what information or what insight we can get from the other listeners, the other viewers, and I'll also provide my opinion as well. So I do got one of those for y'all, which I always love because it comes straight from my audience, and it lets me know that y'all rocking with your girl. You're rocking, you rocking, you rocking, you rocking. So yep, the chat is open. The phone lines are open. 443-642-9403. But I'm going to keep talking like, what's up, what's up, what's what? Y'all know what I do. And y'all better be living for it. Let me pull this up to get my next topic on my what in the world. Oh, yeah. Gervonta Davis, yes, the famous boxer here, y'all already know, champion. Back in 2020, was involved in a hit and run accident right here on Martin Luther King. I think the intersection of Martin Luther King and Washington Boulevard in the west side of Baltimore. He allegedly ran a red light at that intersection and hit a car that a lady was driving, and I believe she had 3 passengers. The young lady was pregnant at the time. She fractured her knee, bad injuries. Everybody was injured in the car, but nothing life-threatening. But the thing that gets me, what they're saying, is that the lady was actually trapped in the car. She remembers seeing Mr. Davis. She was pleading for help, and he left the scene. So a judge has just ruled that his request is denied. And what he was requesting was to exclude jail time and actually spend, I think, 60 days on a home monitor device. But the judge said, no deal. So let's just see what's going on with that. It'd be unfortunate when it be stuff like that, because I like the brother. Of course, being a Baltimore native, I'm rooting for him all day long to see him and being viewed around the world as this famous boxer, knowing that he trained right here in Baltimore City, born and raised, and I feel like you made it out. But the whole situation, it could have been handled different. I think it's really looking bad on his part, because one, a hit and run is not saying you just hit me. You stayed at the scene, helped, or did whatever else was the case. Like, you hit these people and then you and he hit him, I think, in a Lamborghini. So all of that was just crazy to me. Keep look out for that, you all, because yeah, they said nope, he is not getting out. Well, not getting out, but he just rejects the no jail deal. That's what it was. So the Baltimore judge, he rejects the no jail deal. Basically, he was trying to elude having any jail time for this offense and basically just being like on home monitor. But it's no deal for him. The judge rejected it. I mean, when I was reading the story, I was like, what? I kind of remembered it, but then I didn't. But then when I was looking at all of the information about it and like what really happened and some of the facts coming out, and the fact that he did a hit and run, and the fact that this lady, the victim, made statements that she was actually pleading for him to help her because she was trapped in the car and she was pregnant. So can you imagine seeing somebody? And I'm sure they probably was a fan too, because y'all already know Baltimoreans, for whatever reason, we struggle to support each other here. But I guess when it becomes popular and we're on a world, you know what I'm saying, the world's watch, we support them. You get what I'm saying? The same way we do our Ravens. It's not a question. We support them. If you in Baltimore, you support them. So that's why I'm always side-eyeing people that don't. But hey, you able to be a fan of who you want to be a fan of. And me, I was a fan of Mr. Davis, but this right here did make me look at him in another way. But nevertheless, I do hope that he at least learns from the situation, and I hope that it still will produce some good in his life. Because Mr. Davis, you can't be doing that. Knock people out in the ring, not on the road, knock them out on the ring. And if you do happen to get into an accident where you knock somebody out on the road, stop, help them, good brother. You probably wouldn't be in this trouble or this situation you in and hadn't to request no jail time had you stayed at the scene, had you been remorseful, had you tried to help these people that you ran into when you ran the light. So I don't know why he left the scene. I don't know. Inside sources are saying that, he was hanging out down the casino. He might have been a little tipsy, so he was trying to elude being locked up or whatever. But my whole thing is, you still got into trouble. And how does that look? Not a good look at all. Not a good look at all. And look at here. Yes, I'm running them down on what's going on in the news. Because guess what? A lot of stuff, and when there be charges and all this other stuff, I'd be interested. And just like I said, that helps me get my topics and my little inserts of what I want to come on the show to talk to you about. Because I know if it's on my mind, it's on yours. I think. But the powerful sister, Tiffany Haddish. Yes, Tiffany Haddish. Everybody know that it came out that she did this controversial snippet years ago with a child and with Ari Spears. Something of the sorts that supposed to have been funny about child pedophiles or whatever. It wasn't funny. That's what it did. It came out. The children that were involved, well, actually, one of them brung their other sibling, and these children were children of a friend of Tiffany's. But anyway, let me get to the point. Basically, she settled out of court. It doesn't state any type of monetary, if they had any type of money. But right now she's in the clear. But Tiffany is alleging that she ain't got no job, that this whole situation has made her lose her job. I mean, she had some things coming up. I seen something where she was supposed to be doing a Disney movie. Y'all know the Haunted Mansion that was supposed to be coming out next year. I think May 2023. That has been pushed back. They're not saying if it's been pushed back because of this case, but more than likely so. Now, Tiffany Haddish, if anybody didn't know, they were in it was in the news. It was popping. It was on all type of social media platforms about her and Ari Spears doing this video. I don't know really what you call it. I guess it's like a parable, whatever, a skit. We won't call it that. So it was some while ago. It was some years back. So I'm thinking they were doing it, thinking that it was funny to try to get, I guess, some notoriety. They was gonna put it out there. I don't know what they was thinking, but however, it came back to bite them. It had them in the limelight about these charges, and Tiffany Haddish has basically, I guess, not cleared her name, but cleared the way of the lawsuit. Now, the victims, who have not been named and will not be named, made a statement saying that they wish her the best. They knew that she did nothing intentionally or purposely to hurt them, and she's been a friend of their mother's for years. So with that being said, it gets you to question, like, well, why bring up the lawsuit all these many years later if you knew that?
Because it was a money grab.
Was the case. Exactly.
Because it was a money grab. The same thing it's the same exact thing that just happened to Ricky Martin with his nephew, trying to say that his nephew was having sex with his nephew, and the whole entire time he was lying to grab for money.
Okay, Martin is
now suing him for $132 million.
Right. And that's one of the points that I was ready to make. Thank you, Marnie, for talking to me. But that was one of the points that I was ready to make. Okay, because it was made like so long ago with like this little skit or whatever. And
the funny part about it is
they wasn't hurt back then.
Right. But the funny part about it is back then, we would have thought that was funny. It's because we're living in a different era today, where a lot of stuff that was funny maybe 10 years ago is not funny today. The skit would have been still around the same time as when Dave Chappelle was doing his stuff.
Right.
And all of the stuff that we laughed at about Dave Chappelle's show that was out actually that wasn't funny, today would not be funny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if we were looking at the Dave Chappelle show and all the stuff that they was talking about on that show, that stuff would not be funny today.
Right.
And that's what the outrage is selective. Now, if Nate was on here, I know he would be saying the same thing. He's so sick of this selective outrage. This one in particular is selective outrage. If you're thinking about this in the context of R. Kelly. Because that's what the skit was about, underage, whatever the case may be, right? So if you were thinking about this in the context of R. Kelly, that's why it's not funny today, because he's being persecuted and prosecuted for the things that he's done.
The very same thing.
So now today, what they were trying to do in a skit back then is not funny. but it would have been funny
back then. I get
That's
that. I get
interesting,
that.
right?
And I mean, I guess what they were talking about isn't necessarily funny, but I guess they were trying to, like laugh about it. And
But
just
it's a skit, so you have to take skits. The thing about this is, and here's how I've been looking at this. The thing about this is, we keep losing the context of what the thing was being represented as. It was a skit, which is comedy, right?
Right.
But comedy is always seductive or leading to something important. So where child trafficking and child molestation is not a funny thing, the skit would have been eye-opening to why some of these things happen or why they shouldn't happen, to maybe point out the negative aspects of it, but in a comedic sense. So that's why I'm kind of weirded out, because you knew what you were. It's very wrong for them to actually act like they didn't know what they were being hired for. Seeing as though the children,
that's what they were saying.
children,
they did not know,
and seeing as though it was the children that was hired, and the children are the ones that were behind this lawsuit so many years later, not the mother so much, because these are about the children that were putting this lawsuit out. That's why they're not giving out the names, right?
Right.
But you are bringing the persecution onto yourself, because the skit never came out.
Never
happened. It wasn't like you were actually being sexually, offended upon.
It's right.
It was a skit. You were hired to do a job. The job was done. You got paid and went on about your business. Now, 13 or how many ever years later, now you offended after you got paid and took the money?
That's what I was saying. And I was saying after a while, they said, "Oh, we didn't get paid enough." Especially when they see me.
You didn't get paid enough because it was not produced. Nothing came of it. The whole entire project was shelved, apparently.
Right.
So why would you get more money for something ain't nobody seen?
And my thing is the same way how you're saying that the comedy skit and the context probably would have been funny back then. I believe also they played on the fact and knowing, the sensitivity of that issue right now. So they knew that it would, you know what I'm saying?
It would garner eyes. It would make us look. It would make us see things. But back then, Tiffany Haddish wasn't even that high up in her stature either.
No.
So it's like she's only been on this. So they waited till she got higher up in stature than to try to bring this woman down. That's what I see.
Yeah. And this is a money grab. You see it. Look at here. I see it how you see it. That's the same thing that I was thinking, Mom. That's the same.
Everybody's desperate for cash, but it's also in the way you get your cash is what makes it more important. Because now I'm looking at you like, ugh. I didn't look at Tiffany Haddish or Ari Spears any kind of way about this, because the first word I heard about this is that it was a skit, which means comedy. Yeah. That it was going to be a comedic thing that you was hired for, and you could have quit and not did the things inside of the skit. You could have quit.
Well, and then also considering that you made the announcement that this is like your mother friend, and that that she wouldn't do anything intentionally.
That friendship shit is, that's cool. Whatever. Now y'all friends.
Well, they knew the mother.
We not friends no more.
Well, they knew the mother. We surely not.
That's what I said. We ain't friends no more. You just tried to publicly embarrass me. Friendship out the bitch. I'm trying to destroy you at this point.
So she said she lost everything because of this lawsuit. Like
I doubt that. Just like the Will Smith situation, all that stuff.
She probably was talking because that was one of the statements that she gave the TMC. So
yeah, so she's a A-lister right now. So all that stuff is going to come back. Whether now that this has been settled and gone, this will die down, and all her opportunities to come back. Ain't like she hurt for money. She may have lost a couple jobs, but you ain't hurting for money, Tiffany. Calm down.
Yes.
You ain't homeless, girl. Calm down. You don't got a flashback to being in your car sleeping. Calm down.
Well, let's just say I hope don't know more of these 10-year-old skits or 15 years old skits before this lady made it the way that she's making it come back.
But you can see the opportunistic behavior behind it. This was very I can't even get the word out. Opportunistic.
Right. And
this was an opportunity for them to grab some money real quick because they broke.
Right.
It ain't Tiffany Haddish's fault that your career didn't take off as a child star.
It didn't.
It's your own fault.
It did.
And now this ain't the way to break out into it, because now everybody in Hollywood is gonna be looking at you like, oh, okay, no, we're not gonna hire you.
And that's probably why they weren't naming them or whatever.
Right.
But, I guess so people wouldn't treat them any type of way or be, a little bit reluctant to actually, I guess work with them, but I would be.
Yeah.
I would never, excuse me.
But see, that's what I say. We always gotta read into the wording, because it was something that they actually scrapped. They scrapped the whole entire skit, so I don't even understand like why it got to this point where you thought you could file a lawsuit when we had scrapped the skit. The skit didn't go any further. And the only reason why people are seeing it is because you sent it out.
Talk about it.
This would have been buried and gone, which what they tried to do.
Gone, nobody would have knew about it.
Which is what they apparently tried to do. That's why it never came out. But you still got paid.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, see, I like to talk about stuff that keep people going. Okay, the phone lines is over. Call and talk to me and Monty about it. Yes, Tiffany Haddish is in the clear. I didn't hear anything about the fate of Ari Spears, but I'm thinking if it's over for her, it's over for him. I was feeling some type of way.
He was never on though, so.
Yeah, he wasn't never, but he's been making a whole bunch. I didn't even know he talking about Ari Spears, right? And I was looking at his little story because he was getting some backlash about them comments he made about Sister Lizzo. Him not being so body beautiful all the way himself, right? So I didn't even know that he used to be a model. They showed some old pictures of him, baby. He was a model. He was feeling some type of way.
I don't know why. Even when he was on Living Color, he was out of shape.
Well, you gotta look back at it. He was a model, and in those things, I think he was in an accident or something why he got them permanent black eyes. I don't know. But yeah, my feelings exactly about Tiffany Haddish.
Diabetes.
Had it. Was it? Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I think he do got that too. Oh my goodness. But anyway, if it's done and Tiffany Haddish done had it with that lawsuit, baby, and it's over, and she basically is in the clear. So I had to bring that up because it was a little bit questionable to me too, the comments that the victims had made. So I was like, okay, if you know that, why even bring it about? And Monty, you make an awesome point, is that nobody would have seen it. Y'all put it out there to say that y'all was feeling somebody, what they was calling them sexual. They was
exactly. No one knew about this. No one.
So if you knew someone didn't do something intentionally and you knew it was a skit, I mean, the charge that they were trying to anyway was like ridiculous.
Now I can see the difference being if they actually had did something sexually wrong to you, then yes, I understand the lawsuit. But you knew you was hired to be an actor to do a certain thing, and this is what we had for you to do. And if you didn't like or want to do that in the middle, then that's what you go to your mom and say, I don't feel comfortable with this. And then we quit. But you went through with it. They completely filmed the skit and had it produced, but decided not to use it.
Yes.
That's the problem I have with, which is why they were so easy and quick, because they knew they was going to lose. They knew they were going to lose. This was a publicity stunt to try to get money out of these two people. And what's interesting is that it came up when Aries was spouting all that shit about Lizzo.
Yes.
Like right when he was getting a little bit of
the
traction
real
on what he
was though.
And then they bring this up, but then inadvertently drag Tiffany Haddish down with them. I think it was inadvertent because they was probably going after Aries, and then Tiffany got dragged down with them. I know she was sitting back like, what the hell? I didn't do nothing. What are they talking about? What are they talking about?
So what is they talking about? She said this kid was on a child.
I mean, because you had every opportunity to talk about this. What? Tiffany has been at the top of her game. What for now? Since Girls Trip came out,
right. And they
could have did that then. You could have brought this up then. You probably would have got more traction if you would have brought this up when Girls Trip first came out.
Okay.
But you chose now when Tiffany is not really even in the spotlight right now. She got her TV show on ABC with the children. So now you bring this up. That's what she probably would talk about when she said she was unemployed, because she probably lost her job as that TV host with the children. What is it called? Who name is it? Who name is it anyway, or something like that? Or your kids say the darndest things or something like that.
Yeah, I think
it's one of those kind of shows that she has on ABC. And that's the job she's probably talking about, because that would have been lucrative, because they film all of those shows ahead of time, which is like 52 episodes, so it can come on like every week and every day and on the game show network. So she's been paid already for her season, but this probably stopped her from doing more, because now they got her involved in a child sex trafficking.
Pornography. What was it? I'm trying to think of the exact. It just was a mess.
Right. So now they don't want to around children. That's messed up.
Yeah. That's what friends will do to you, I guess. Since they saying she was the mother friend.
He wasn't her friend. Tiffany probably didn't see that lady in years. She probably your friend. I'm not your friend, bitch. I'm your associate.
And guess what? You can tell when it wasn't when she was a popping, because when I read the whole story, basically they shot this in Ari Spears' apartment.
So if I'm your friend, you're not gonna give me a heads up on what you get ready to do? We not friends.
We not, because y'all could have
called me to the press and told them.
Y'all could have called exactly. Y'all could have called me and told me y'all feel some type of way without going.
Because she could have then right then and there said, "Well, we didn't air it, so I don't know why you still feel some kind of way. We got rid of it. Right. That wasn't even it hadn't aired. Now you airing out your own dirty laundry. That's on you."
And they did. And
it ain't dirty laundry though, because it was a skit. It was supposed to be comedy. And what they probably came to the realization is that we're not going to do this because we don't like it.
Nope.
But it would take you actually doing it to find out whether you like it or not, or whether it was appropriate or not.
Right.
That's what I didn't get.
Making like they did film the whole skit or whatever.
Right.
I'm sure it was various reasons why they didn't come out with it. And not even that they thinking it was funny. Like maybe at that time, that's when she started getting other stuff, because I think they were doing the skit, to put it together, to put it out, to get more, for themselves as actors, as comedians or whatever else like that. So I think shortly after they started getting like the SNL gigs and different things like this. So to even come out with the skit probably wasn't necessary for their career as they had thought it was. Because like they were, coming together to do the skit about what was going on back then, making it funny, and then but something else came up. So I think, how things happen, the way it's supposed to happen. It was through the grace of God that happened. They got other gigs. They didn't even have to come out with the skit. So yeah, it's just crazy that this decade or so later, that they would come and say that they were offended, that they were basically accosted, like she was doing something to them inappropriately. Now, that is crazy to me. I don't know. And then to make that statement. So yeah. They got that money, honey. But Tiffany Haddish has had it, and I hope that it does good for her, because basically people was canceling them out, Monty. As soon as that come, people said cancel them. Let them be gone, like as if it was a video of them like really having sexual acts with these children. People was canceling them out. I was seeing them. I seen little snippets of the snip, but I didn't really see it. But yeah, it was a mess. But she had it. Look at here. So that's out the window. That is out the window. Tiffany Haddish, girl, you ain't broke. Hopefully.
Are you seeing the comments?
Huh?
Are you seeing your comments?
Am I seeing my comments? No, I'm not. But hey, I think I just don't seen one of them from my sister-in-law, Irene. I gave you a shout out, sis. One of my supporters be listening to me all be out there, out Middle River. Say my sister-in-law, but the wedding is approaching shortly. It's next year, but it's coming. Time is flying, girl, and we is gonna be lit. We're gonna look bomb. We're gonna look bomb. So I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your comments. Hey, 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 hey. And don't hesitate to like, comment, and share. Comment all you want in the chat section. And also, don't be afraid to give me a call, 443-642-9403. If you ever interested in being a guest and coming on here live and talking to me, and Monty sometimes, yeah, he helped me talk. You know what I mean? Talk about myself. You come on through and talk to me because you know I would love to talk to you. You know I'm always coming with the what's up, what's what. And you better live for it. This is the You Better Live radio show. We hit every Thursday at 7, bringing up anything that's on my mind. We got time today. Things that's on my mind and was on yours, of course. Another thing that I had wanted to bring up. What in the what? Right here in Baltimore, a 2019, what do they call it? Road rage murder. Young man followed a lady after having an altercation with her, followed her home, shot her in her back and the back of her head, in her back, I believe. And then after he shot her, he spit on her. Well, that's what led up to him being charged and convicted. Yes, they linked him to the case through his saliva. So after he shot this lady, he spit on her right out there in Dundalk, Maryland. I'm gonna look back at the information shortly and give you some names so you can look at it. Spit on a young lady. Witnesses had reported that he spit on her. This was back in 2019, and I'm thinking that COVID kind of slowed down the investigation. I'm hearing that on a lot of the sources when I'm looking and reading about legal stuff and stuff that's going on. COVID did slow down a lot of the processes of investigations of police work, like it slowed down everything. Everything just was shut down. But yeah, he finally got his day. This lady finally got justice, killed over road rage. Yes, Godmother, I seen your comments said people are just about shoot you and kill you for NT thing these days. Like I told y'all, don't nothing be going on. Right here in Baltimore, right in here, out in Dundalk, that wasn't in the city, but things like that in the city happen all the time. I just now was reading all the alerts. Somebody was shot on Pennsylvania Avenue, somebody shot out a car, shot somebody, the victim went to the witness. It just be a mess every day. They just now found somebody down South Baltimore by the bridge. They say that it's evidence of trauma to her body. That was a lady. When you hear all this type of stuff, it's beyond scary, and it's definitely beyond sad when you hearing these things like this. They keep finding these bodies. And every time you look, somebody is getting killed. If it ain't somebody personally, it's somebody that that know them. So that's why I say we is in constant mourning. We gotta keep everybody lifted up in prayer. Please pray. Please stay prayed up and praised up. You heard me? And praised up. Thank God in advance for the things that you don't even know what's going to happen. Because see, that's faith. That is faith. See, knowledge is knowing, what's going to happen. Faith is not knowing at all what is going to happen, but you just going to keep on moving and keep on getting through. That's what the power of faith does for you. But yes, out here in Dundalk, spit on this lady. And yeah, they got them now. See, y'all, I was trying to pull up all the information so I could really give y'all the names or whatever, but my source and what I got on there is my laptop. I got my sound running through there in the mic, and it keep on acting all crazy on me. Keep on acting crazy on me. And when I open up these daggone ads, that's what it's doing. It's making all this crazy noise. So I'm like, I ain't gonna do that. I'm over here just clicking on around, trying to get to my next topic. I don't know what happened. I don't know what in the what. That's one of the what in the what moments. If you just joining me, we already did some of our what in the worlds. We talked about Trump. Trump, yes, is being sued. The attorney general there in New York City, Miss Letitia James, I believe it is, Letitia James, has filed suit alleging that Trump has misrepresented his finances, misrepresented his finances. Try to say that 3 times. Misrepresented his finances. Yes, he has definitely inflated his net worth by billions. Not only his net worth, but his properties, even going to the extent of lying, saying that certain properties are more square feet than they were. They're saying he did all this in the effort to get loans, also to get certain tax breaks that he knew that he would not be eligible for if he had reported it correctly. So yeah, Trump, they is tired of you trumping people. It's still a whole bunch of stuff going on about this raid now. The DOJ has also filed an appeal, which Trump wanted a special judge on there to review all the documents. So the DOJ is saying, okay, we're appealing it because it basically has stopped them, like from reviewing them into this special counsel, special judges can look at all the documents because he was alleging that it was documents from him and his attorney, special attorney-client privileges, as well as they took his will. So the DOJ say, we found information that basically is labeled, says classified information. Yes, y'all, they collected over 10,000 government documents and more than 100 of them are stamped classified. So basically they saying y'all can take that 9,900 and hold them all y'all want for the judge to view. But basically he wasn't supposed to have these. These is classified documents. He wasn't supposed to take them out of nowhere. This fool was already making statements, was saying when the raid first happened, well, what they was looking for, Hillary Clinton emails, and y'all just be having to laugh because, like I said, he says anything I said before. He act like he can do anything and get away with it, but see, God don't like ugly. He not too fond of booty. He not too fond of booty because a lot of times it does not really matter. But yes. That's what happens. Hold on, what's going on? Is someone helping me out? I see up here in these chats. I seen a little bit, sis. Was you pulling out the names, getting the facts for me? Thank you. See how I be having y'all, my daggone supporters. I told y'all this show is for us all. Let me pull this up so I can read y'all comments and making sure. Sis, yes, Ricky Charles, that's his name. See what I'm saying? I got all types of producers coming through on the show. Thank you, Rainy Ring. Yes, that was the brother who was convicted for first degree murder and the death of the lady Melissa West. She was a Dundalk resident who was killed, followed after having an argument or some type of confrontation on the road with Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles followed her to her residence. So whatever they had, whatever it was, they fussed about it, and he was so angry, so irate that he followed her to her home and killed her. What she could have said, brother? What she could have said? What she could have said? What she could have said? But anyway, he followed her to her house, shot her 2 times, and afterwards spit on her. So they were able to go on with their investigation because witnesses reported it as such, had said what they had seen and that he spit on her. So evidence was collected, and yes, his saliva was ultimately what got him convicted. Bye-bye. Petty is as petty does. And it's just sad when you see somebody losing their life over something so petty. But I bet you he won't spit on nobody else. Let's see. What he gonna be spitting on up in that prison? Straight up. Like I'll be telling y'all, it's like it ain't no more to the streets. They don't care. That's why I said I don't be arguing with nobody. No, none of that, and especially not no brother, because back in the day, how I used to say, like, oh yeah, a guy might knock your head off, meaning might try to bang you, slap you, whatever else like that. But now these men be pulling guns on the sister and about nothing. They'd be outraged if you don't even want to talk to them. Remember when they used to just curse you and say, bitch, go ahead, bitch, you ain't all right anyway, then bitch, you was right. I used to get a lot too about that, but now, baby, if you don't comply, if you don't say hi, baby, they'll shoot you. And the facts show that you can be arguing with somebody in the car over something in the road and they'll follow you home and shoot you. That's why when people be trying to have road rage with me, I be like, God bless you. I make that my reply for a lot of stuff, especially when I know it just be like absurd stuff. Stuff don't make no sense. I'll be told, what? Oh, they talking to me? Oh, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And when you say that, that call a demon out there, get the shaking and all that other stuff. But yes, bless you, Rainy, for bringing through those names. That's what it was. And yes, it definitely was said. I also had seen some information because I got that chat up, but now I'm going to run back to my other chat so I can bring up these other little topics that I wanted to talk to you because I was just like, what in the what? What in the what? Yes. Somebody, okay, not somebody. It was actually an officer was killed and not killed. He was convicted of manslaughter of a black motorist. I think something was going on. The guy was involved in a high-speed chase or whatever was the case when he got there. Other people had already had him detained, but within 6 minutes of this officer, Plowden Jr. I gotta bring it up. I told you I can't get all the stuff and get all the names. Rain, you still with me? Look that up about this Pennsylvania officer who got convicted of manslaughter, but basically he shot the black man, shot him, thought that he had, how many times we hear this story? Thought that he had a weapon, a gun, but it was a vape. It was a vape. So the brother was shot and killed. And he was charged with manslaughter. So some of this stuff in regards to the excessive force, the misappropriation, I guess, of their actions towards Black people is definitely being put on the forefront. We're seeing it more, of course, because of these phones, because of these cameras. And all I can say is thank God. So that was just right up the street, y'all. Right up the street, up in Philly. Was the Philly or Pennsylvania? I don't know. I hate when I don't know stuff because I be trying to talk about it with you and come through with little stuff that just have you like, what in the world or what in the what? Because that's just what I do. But yeah, the manslaughter. We also brought up Tiffany Haddish. That got the good producer Monty talking. Tiffany Haddish, y'all, she's on the clear, has settled out of court. No monetary amount was noted, not even saying how they settled, but it seems that she didn't had it with the lawsuit and is not in her hair anymore. That's maybe why she cut it off. Y'all see it? She got that regular blonde type of look. I love it anyway, Tiffany. I do love it. I do think that they played on her success. You know, back then she is supposedly made this skit probably to put out there to get some type of notoriety, get some type of, get seen for it. But I think due to grace of God, other jobs, other opportunities came about and they never really had to put it out. It never was produced. But this year it was put out, not in the production, but by the victims who put it out. Oh my goodness, look at Irene. Girl, I had to pay you. I love her. She's sending me that information. Look, I'm so excited, baby. I start strolling the table. I started strolling the table when I was trying to touch the mouse. But yeah, Tiffany Haddish. So she's in the clear. The victim, the older victim who was making all these allegations about the skit and that they were alleged child pornography, just all this. I can't. It was so much nonsense, y'all. Y'all know my tongue be twisted and tied all the time, but it was so much nonsense, honey. I can't even get that out. But Irene, baby, you is here with me. And yes, Dennis Plowden Jr., that was the brother that I was just now talking about up there in Pennsylvania. He was shot 6 seconds after the officer, Art Jr., arrived on the scene. Just 6 seconds. Just 6 seconds. So within that 6 seconds, he thought that it was a weapon. It happened to be a vape, and he was convicted of manslaughter. So basically, he's saying that he was not just in his decision to shoot Mr. Plowden Jr. So justice to his family. When things like this happen, I'm telling y'all, it's still a lot of old ways in that justice system. But one thing where I'm faithful to is a new day. in some respect. It's a new day because at least we seeing things like this because just like Trump, just like the police, you know, for many, I know since all my whole life, these type of things were unheard of. You know, police do not be held accountable for actions. You know, I guess when they feel like they are that form of authority figure that they can do no wrong. Like they are just like perfect people. So I'm glad to see that. Yeah, they're humans. Yeah, they are police, and yes, they do have a special profession, and yes, they supposed to have the most moral and the most upstanding, you know, standards. You know, that's what it say on the paper. But we know that's not the case. And even if that wasn't the case of the thought of the way the police supposed to be, we know that they're human. They can make mistakes. And a lot of them, because a lot of this racial profiling and just the thought that they have on Black people is like we always seen as a threat. So, you know, this being a Black man, in a lot of cases when we see these unarmed Black men being killed at the hands of the police, yeah, it's always the case. They already have a thought. I think it should be some type of evaluation or something every year or every 6 months or something that just like, I don't know, because there's a lot of racism there. And a lot of people that's been in the police department, you know, in the different of these towns, you know, down south and all that other stuff that has been on the force. I mean, veterans for years, they do have that mentality. They are racist. A lot of them joined the police force so that they could do these things because that was the norm of their town. That was the norm of their town. So I don't know why they be acting like they don't know that. I just don't know. So, but like I say, there's a lot of the old ways in that system because we know what that system is all about. But it's a new day because it's a good thing to be seeing police held accountable for misconduct within itself. It really is, in my opinion. I gotta keep on saying that. Y'all might say that there ain't no facts, but that's just how I feel about it. Oh my goodness, ring. Gotta give you another special shout out, girl. You got me that information because I like to drop names. I like to drop names and know what I'm saying. So I appreciate that. What else did I want to touch on this show? Come on, y'all. If y'all got something to talk to me about, don't you hesitate to throw it up in the comments. You always can just call too, even if it's just to say hi or just to give me a yay or a nay. If you agree on what I'm talking about, that number is 443-642-9403. Call and talk to me anytime. Also, I open up the air. I put it out there. You can come and be a guest. Come talk to the goddess, ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix, on a Thursday at 7. Let's get it in. If you got some business, if you have a business, if you want to tell somebody else business, then come on with it. But be careful. And Monty, help me with this. Because a lot of times, like I say, in my opinion, which I can, you know, state in my opinion, but what's the blogger lady that was stating things about Miss Cardi B as if they were facts? They said she's still running her mouth. She's still running her mouth, and Miss Cardi, honey. Tasha K, you better be quiet, okay? Okay, you better be quiet. They said she is still on social media talking about Miss Cardi B, laughing, honey, saying that the award, that settlement or whatever that she was, Cardi B was awarded that, oh, I ain't gonna pay it. She ain't gonna never get it. Yeah, Miss Tasha K, who had put that stuff out. I don't even want to repeat it, but y'all know what it is. This is already in the limelight. She basically reported that Cardi B had a sexually transmitted disease that she couldn't get rid of and that she worked previously as an escort. Cardi B wasn't having it. She said this is completely untrue. She sued her for defamation, which it certainly was. Like how we say, people can get on here. I guess people would consider me as a blogger, podcast host, radio show. You know, I say radio show, but trust and believe me, anything that I say is my opinion. And you can't say things like that about people as if it's fact, something that can harm someone's character. Now, Cardi B, being a mother, coming, having a successful career, she felt as though it definitely would damage her image, which some say it did, but not so much. But I think she basically was just fighting back to fight against this lady. Like, no, you're not going to say this about me. Because aside from affecting her image, she said it caused her emotional, trauma, emotional. It affected her emotionally, mentally. It brought, chaos into her life, and rightfully so. Could you imagine people say stuff about you all the time. Let's get that clear. Let's get that clear right there. But right now, the same way they did Miss Tiffany Haddish, she being on the show with the children or whatever else like that, and then someone come on there and allege that she did something inappropriate with children. That tarnishes the whole image of what she's currently doing, business-wise. So the same thing with Cardi B. She's, everybody looking at her, this gorgeous body. Oh, yeah, she got her family. She's married or whatever said that. And she said that, yeah, everyone knows about her history of stripping and everything else like that, being in the club. But to say that she had that sexually transmitted disease and that she did sexual acts for money. Now, she might have danced sexually, Cardi B, say that. She said she was getting her money up, you feel what I'm saying? Before she made it, so she was stripping. She ain't got no shame in her game about that. But she was saying that STD that I can't get rid of, as well as you saying that I was selling sex for money, being an escort, that's not true. And I'm going to get you. And she came for Miss Tasha K. And Miss Tasha K, I'm going to just say, be quiet, sis. Leave it alone. People are saying that you might be a little bit cuckoo and psycho to know that you got this case against you and that you got this settlement against you for what was it? How much it was, Marnie? You remember? But it was some money. But even afterwards,
I think it was like $3 or $4 million.
3 or 4 million. I mean, I ain't got 3 or 4 million, so I don't know what Tasha K net worth is, but being a blogger, whatever else like that, 3-4 million, baby, that's a lot. That's a lot. So anyway, she's still playing. She's still talking about her. Cardi B, like, I'm going. She went back to the judge, was like, yes, I want to freeze her assets. I want it now, the bank accounts or whatever else like that. So now they saying that she going back, Miss Tasha K, to the federal judge saying, no, she can't do that. Well, don't let her do that because it's not due for me to pay this money. But I'm just saying, watch what you do. And in this case, watch what you say, because you might just have to pay. Learn. We're going to call that the Tasha K law. Don't be lying on people. Don't be saying that people say anything for clout. Preference Miss Cardi B and her man's song. People do anything for clout. Yes, they do, baby. And she's going to have to come off that 3 or 4 million. Miss Tasha, just be quiet, sis. Just be quiet. They saying that you is crazy and is you obsessed with Miss Cardi B because she done already got that money. She done already socked it to you. She done already socked it to you, honey. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. But anyway, people like to run their mouth into anything like me. We have fun talking, but I ain't starting. Guess what? I ain't doing that. I ain't telling no lies. I'm just letting you know what's up, and what's what. Yes, ma'am. She better be careful. Watch what you say, because you might have to pay. So say what you want to say about me, but don't say nothing that is going to defame my character, or you may have to pay. You may have to pay. That's defamation. And she wasn't playing. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. All right, some other stuff going on now too, y'all, in Baltimore City, because we was talking about all the different killings. I talked about the young mother of 2 in Florida who was beheaded. Can you imagine wanting to cut a dude off and he come and cut your head off? Wow. Prayers for the children, prayers for her family. None of her family I don't think they didn't release the name yet because none of her family or media family has been notified yet. But I'm assuming that they already know because that happened on Friday, September the 9th. So praise for her children. They are saying that her children did not view the incident, but were closely by, right in the house. Yes, this happened right in front of her door. They had to call additional support for all of the personnel who reported to the scene because they said that that scene was that devastating, that traumatic. And I can only imagine, like, how do you, once you see that, how you close your eyes and don't see that? Like, for a while. Like, for a while. So all they could do was cover her up and everything else like that. See, I used to want to go into a profession of mortuary science. I used to also want to be like one of them, like a crime investigator doing investigations. What are they called? Like a like the CSI, like collecting stuff and everything like that. Because I'm one of them people that I don't shy away from seeing blood and things like that. I like gory stuff. Ain't that crazy? I'm scared to get on a roller coaster. I mean, I don't like roller coasters. I will get on them because people didn't pay me to get on them. But a horror movie or a haunted house, baby, I'm there. And I be screaming my head off. I be so scared. But to me, it just be like so funny to be scared. It's a different rush from the roller coaster. You got what I'm saying? Like, I be in the haunted houses, like, I know it's not real, but it's just so scary. And so, like, it be funny to me. But a roller coaster, baby, I know that's real. And I just ain't got that much faith in a mechanical stuff that's going to throw me all the way up in the sky and loop me all around and all that. But anyway, yes, we talked about that. We did all of that, talking about all that, because I be talking. Yes, I get distracted sometimes with my background, but I'm still here talking clear, right? Talking clear, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that because I always tell people, you know what? My brain be going. And, if you ever heard of an overthinker, that's what I am. I will think and think and think and think on something. So I thank goodness that I don't have a stuttering type of issue, but it comes so fast in my head, and a lot of times when I go to put it out, it's like it seems like it's all there at one time. And it's crazy because if anybody knows me, they know that I am a performer. Yes, hip-hop, poetry, artist. I'm a performer, and it's my thing. I like to talk, you know what I mean? But the crazy thing is that I have the most clear and precise conversations when it's like me and somebody else, a one-on-one. But anybody lets you know if you are, a public figure, or you do anything publicly. I don't care who you are. It's just like these nerves. So God just set me up to be right here on this platform, baby, because I'm telling you, very soon, y'all want to see me on the stage, baby. When they be booking them shows and everything, I'll say that I don't have no deals for y'all getting. No ticket. So whatever you're gonna come out with, anything that you alleging I did, come on out with it now, baby. Because when I get my millions and millions and millions, don't be bringing up nothing. Don't be bringing up nothing. I didn't grew up for that. Like, stop playing. Don't play with me how they did Miss Hedge. I ain't got no skits. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying. I'm strolling through here, y'all. Yes. Also, some pressing news is John Hopkins. John Hopkins is trying to establish their own police force. Yes, their own police. They want their own police to protect and to serve over their schools, the universities, as well as the hospitals. Now, everybody know that John Hopkins is already kind of known for having this elite security team that's over there. Yeah, okay. But but they want their own police. Now, they first were going pushing it back in 2020. Of course, it got some backlash, so it was off of the table. They made it set it down for a little bit because of the COVID, everything else like that. COVID didn't affect everything, but they planning on having, I think, 3 meetings coming up. So just be on the lookout for that, y'all, because a lot of residents is saying, no way. Why you need special police? What makes John Hopkins so special? My whole thing is, while y'all trying to develop that police department, y'all better get y'all cafeterias together, because I seen something in the news too that one of their cafeterias got shut down now. John Hopkins personnel trying to say because it was renovations, or they was being for some type of renovation. I'm sorry, for some type of renovation. Well, I apologize. I hate the word. I don't like the word SORRY. Not at all. But they were saying that it was being shut down for some renovations, but sources that is an employee who was kind of like the whistleblower. You know, they call them whistleblowers who let stuff out that don't really want to be known. They call them whistleblowers. They didn't want to be seen. They said, that wasn't the case. They had unsanitary stuff up in there. They said refrigerators or whatever, the same very things that the health department be closing these carryouts out for. Oh yeah, they said that John Hopkins had to shut that cafeteria down, and they said that the lunch or the food that they was providing to these people that was in a hospital that come to get well was not so healthy. So John Hopkins, fix the in-house first before you worry about securing this outside, whatever. I mean, I think y'all security team do quite a good job. Why they gotta be police? I don't get it, because I mean, push come to shove. Oh, and that's the thing though. They want authority as like the police. So like if you's around John Hopkins and something go on, yeah, they want to be able to come up and accost you and rush you. I say accost because we know a lot of times that's the behavior of the police. So but I don't know. Like why? They want to really be able to arrest people. They want to be able to arrest people. I don't know. Is that serious? What happened? Stuff is happening all around. Yes, and I'm sure, stuff happens by John Hopkins or whatever else like that. But why? What calling for this? What's calling for this? I don't get it. John Hopkins got too much business in the city already, and I'm against it. And there's a lot of people that is against it as well. I'm against them having their own police force. What y'all think? I ain't for that. They be walking past John Hopkins and something or whatever said that, and the next thing you know, it ain't got nothing to do with the students, ain't got nothing doing with the staff. Someone will be walking past, doing whatever, smoking a blunt or just anything. I don't know. It's just not. But yeah, get your in-house together, because your employees is talking and they saying that y'all serving some unhealthy meals over there. Now, this was some weeks back, so hopefully John Hopkins then got it together about that. But yeah, that was the case. I don't like John Hopkins. I skip past that hospital and go anywhere else, baby. I think they so experimental. I think they. I mean, that's a good thing or whatever. But I ain't gonna be no guinea pig for y'all. And they have you in there waiting, sitting, waiting, and they misdiagnosed my mom like years ago. I always bring up and let y'all know my mom has been battling cancer for about 10 years now. That was like the first hospital that she went to when she was having complications. And yeah, like they do. I ain't gonna say all the black people. I'm gonna keep on saying in my opinion or whatever. Like, yeah, y'all already know. It's so many disparities when it comes to us, even in the medical system, the justice system, like all of that, the school system, like all of that. Yeah, they don't be kidding. Like if it was, I says when I went to the emergency room over there, and I was like, shucks. I was thinking like, shucks, if I was a white lady and I came over here in this pain, they would be seeing me or making so many sense, but they telling me, miss you, all right, need this, what's your name, was telling me like, oh no, you okay. Like one time I went in there, I'm telling them like, I can't breathe, what's your name? And I had a strep throat. When I was younger. I really used to deal with real bad sore throats and strep throats and stuff, like when the seasons change or whatever. I'm thinking now that it probably was like sinuses and allergies that was causing that, but I didn't. My mother being a nurse, right? She should have known that, but she got me home. She used to nurse me back to health, y'all. So kudos to Janet Dorsey. But yeah, they misdiagnosed her. They misdiagnosed me. In a lot of these systems, we don't get the same response as being Black people as another race would get, and that's just facts. That's just facts. The same thing that they were alleging what happened with brother Saeed that I was talking about, Anon Saeed, who was released Monday. Yes, his conviction was vacated on a murder from 2019 of his high school ex-girlfriend, not his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, but basically they're saying in that case, a lot of activists are saying, and it was one particular guy that is over like some affairs or whatever when it comes to like Palestinian people and Muslim people in religion, was basically saying like, yeah, they used a lot of that. A lot of statements were used. It's always a lot of times in the wording. So why they are saying they did not have a lot of evidence to actually convict them. One of his first trials was ruled a mistrial, and I think like the following year, when this first happened, then he was convicted. But they said it was a lot of language there, and that whole trial that kept on making it known what his ethnicity was, what his race was, and what his religions was, in a way to make it seem as if someone of his stature and being from this and having this relation will more than likely do this crime. So they saying that it was a method to the word and the language that was used in the prosecution's case to sway the jury, to say, well, he is this and he is a Muslim and he is of that, to, you know, put in their heads that because he is this is something that more than likely he would do. So yeah, they do that to us all the time, yo. It's like really made me cry, but it's not gonna make me cry. That's another thing, y'all. I'm an emotional person, and when I talk about stuff, it'll be all in my head. I be trying to say it correctly, as well as when I say it, make sure that I ain't offending nobody. Cause I ain't Miss K, I'm Miss Chastity, Chasity. That's my government, and I ain't got no $1 million for y'all to be saying. So everything is strictly my opinion. I ain't gonna never speak on nothing or say nothing about you that I don't know for fact. And if you got something to say about me and you saying it is fact, bring your papers. But what I'm saying is, get it out now. Get it out now, because when my net worth go up, baby. And it's coming. I don't want nobody to be saying, that I said that I did anything because you lying. But anyway, I was trying to bring back up. Is that how I do it? That is how I do it. I'm learning a little bit. I ain't gonna say a little bit. I'm really learning a lot. I'm really learning a lot here, having this experience. Y'all know I did radio before. I was doing some AM radio, 10 a.m. Before with the late Harry Carraz on the Hope Village radio show. Also did a show previous right here through this station to be exposed radio with my girl Mimi Howard. Something good for your taste buds. That crazy lady. But that's my good girlfriend from way back when. Also had a wonderful experience with her and doing that show. She knew to come to me. That show was going to come up. I did it with her and the great brother Booby James. Yes, my Leo brother. Shout out to Booby, always doing great things in the community, always doing great things, period, for his family. Hey, Booby, I gotta get Booby. I miss talking to him. Booby, if you come across this, if you looking, guess what? I'm gonna hit you in your inbox. Yes, this is gonna go down in your DM. But we're gonna talk about our show we had before that was on to come up, and I would love to get his insight on a lot of these topics, because the brother used to be talking like me. And Leo energy when we was together, yes, we used to have a ball. Booby James, I gotta holler at him. I have to holler at him. Next week, like I told y'all, my producer is going on vacay. I'm supposed to be going to vacay in December, but it's not looking up for me, guys. It's not looking up for me. But I'm staying faithful. If I don't, I'm definitely gonna be tripping next year, because honey, he got a whole new whole incentive, a initiative type of program with his Be Exposed concierge service, baby. And I am on. I'm telling you, come on and board. You can reach out to him to see what's going on, but it's only a selective few. I'm really bummed that I'm not going to December because, baby, if you would have seen this place, oh my goodness, it looked like a resort in itself. I think they were having a downsides, but it's just beautiful. They're going over to the DR, and I got to get over there. I even am contemplating, guess what? Getting vax just to go. Ain't that a mess? So I don't know. I still have to to decide whatever. But yes, I really did want to go to the DR. And the only reason I'm not going because the financing ain't financing how it need to be financing at the moment. I told y'all girl doing the Amazon flat. I left my job for 13 years. It had to be had just to be here and walk in my dream, walk in my purpose, walk in my destiny. So God be with me. And again, I'm always so thankful for everybody who joins me every Thursday at 7. Y'all gonna miss me next week. Yeah, you is. I know. And I live for being missed. But you think of me because I'm certainly gonna be thinking of you. And the following Thursday, I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna have a guest for you. And I'm not gonna be sitting here just talking your head off, even though you love to hear me talk. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Don't be playing. Y'all love to hear me talk. So what's going on in Baltimore? Yes, this weekend. I think it's this weekend. Or is it next weekend? I don't know. The Charm City joint going down on the War Memorial is doing like this concert or whatever. But of course, it's always controversy surrounding the mayor. Is always controversy surrounding something in Baltimore City. And Brandon Scott, I'm not your biggest fan, but also not your biggest hater. I know I done seen him make statements on a couple of things, especially this new thing that came up about the health department on North Avenue. Yes, they had an inspection back in 2020. That's why that lady, what is her title? I think she's the inspector general. Yes, I like her. They don't like her, but I like her because my whole thing is she's shaking it up. She's coming through with the truth. And guess what? She's pushing y'all to do something. I don't think that they like her just for that very fact. But anyway, she's shaking it up. They did an inspection of the health department, 15 West North Avenue. Everybody knows it. Yes, no, Cardi B wasn't there, but a lot of us have been. 15 Western Avenue, but a lot of us start trying to sneak and go down to the other one down Caroline, because you want to like see or something. But anyway, the health department ain't bad. If you need it, go there, please. And just because you got STD or a health type of problem that you can't take care of person yourself, don't make you no better person. Don't make you no bad person. Because I know people that have been in relationships and then their spouses cheat and then they wind up with something. So don't let me sway you from going to the health department. I don't care. Because every time that I had to go, that I went a couple of times for like testing, just getting like a random test. I mean, one time they was doing some stuff, paying you, child. And I was like, shit, I'm going to pay. I know I ain't got nothing. That's when I was like a teenager, but I was like, I need this couple of dollars. But anyway, yes, the inspector general, they did an inspection of the health department, 1515 West North Avenue in 2020, and they found some sanitary violations. It should have been shut down, but it was not shut down. And guess what? The investigation stemmed from employees, staff, as well as clients, meaning us going into this establishment saying that it was unsanitary and unsafe conditions. So that was proven during the investigation. Y'all, they had took a picture of a rat, a dead rat. You know, of course, there was a lot of other rodent feces found. It was bugs, cockroaches, everything. But this, they took a picture of a dead rat, like sitting up on the shelf. So it probably done got to some poison or something like that. They took it. And guess what, y'all? When they went back this year, the rat's still there. The rat is still there. How do you explain that? The rat is still there. Ew. Well, you know what I keep on saying? COVID. And that's what they blaming it on. They even went to our mayor for a statement. And basically the mayor was saying, well, we know about these things. And all of this stuff and all that. Basically his same response that he's given about everything. And it's just going to take time. And I get that. That's why I said I'm not your biggest fan, but I'm not your biggest hater. But brother, respectfully, you applied for this position. You knew that you would have a certain term to address certain things. And a lot of the stuff you said that you weren't going to address. So you can't keep on saying that it's going to take time, brother. The time is now, and you wanted it.
Now, here we go.
Voted
again.
you in there.
Here we go again.
What happened?
Here we go again.
Come with it.
Is the mayor of the entire city and not the mayor of your freaking clinic.
Please, but guess what? He's the mayor of the entire city, but still stuff like this. And
that's not his.
That still cannot keep him being your response.
That man to be in the purview of making sure that clinic is clean. That clinic has a director who then should have lost his job for not getting it done. But you can't sit that on the mayor's desk.
I believe that.
It seems like that he's supposed to be actually paying attention to cleaning that clinic.
Yes. And that's not
a whole entire thing, entire slate of problems of this city on his purview. That clinic is not his responsibility.
But a lot of this stuff, he need to get on top of. My whole thing
is that's a medical facility. He's not a doctor.
This keep on being your response. But it's still stuff that's in your city and that's under your watch. But this keep on being his response. Say we're gonna take care of it. All right, we on top of it. Don't keep telling us that, it's going to take a long time. This has been
right, but when you say
what you here for?
Not you in particular, but when things are said like that, they make it seem like he was going to go in there with the broom and the shovel to clean up that bread.
No. Hold on. You made me knock my mic. I don't expect.
He was not going to do that. And he's only been mayor for a year.
Right. Let's make it clear. I don't expect him to do that. But my thing is, good brother, stop making that comment, baby. Just tell them, start holding these people accountable. Say, okay, I'm going to look into that. We ain't going to go there because these people is planning his watch. But I don't completely blame Brandon Scott. Just like I said, you correct, Pawnee. The health department, I'm just saying, how does that happen? They don't really like the inspector general because she is bringing all of this bullshit to light.
But that's her job. But that's actually her job.
That's her job.
But inside of her job, though, also, because then she has to take accountability for it, too. Because inside of her job, it was her purview to make sure it got done.
You ain't follow what? Yeah, that part. I can get that.
So if you're going to try to use the excuse as it wasn't done because of the pandemic, she can do the same, and then so can the mayor.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. The whole part that just disgusts me, though, is the health department. A rat still sitting there for 2 years? That's crazy. Yes, baby. They went in there and they the same.
Well, wait a minute though. But wasn't 15 shut down through most of the pandemic though?
I'm sure it was.
Because they weren't. I know they weren't seeing patients in person.
I'm sure it was, and I don't think they was. But guess what? The minute that they opened, my whole thing is the minute
you can see how it may have not been taken care of because the pandemic shut them down.
And I really can't
shut them down.
And I really can't because just like how you said, and you made the point that it was the inspector's job to make sure this was cleaned up or whatever. It was that she got more reports about the same rat that it was there. So someone took a picture. So my thing is, the first day y'all went in there, and y'all took this picture. This being the health department.
What I'm saying is, though, when in the process of them doing this investigation and they found out this rat was there, then the pandemic hit, it shut them down. So it probably got overlooked. I'm gonna use the word overlooked because they probably weren't at work every day. They weren't doing anything in office because no one was in the office. So throughout the course of the pandemic, when they finally came back into the office, they probably then couldn't even get to it because they were probably so busy. But I do get what you're saying. Somebody should have been keeping track.
Janitorial. They ain't expecting.
But I'm not expecting a nurse to. Now that part, I'm not expecting a nurse to be taking care of a rat. That's janitorial.
The fact that you made that point, though, is that a lot of the delays might have been about the COVID, right? But isn't that even more reason I feel like when they open back up these state buildings and stuff to go in there and clean it thoroughly?
But that's what I'm saying. That's janitorial. That's not the nurses or the doctor's fault.
They should have went in there and cleaned that place thoroughly. And now what I'm saying is that, and not making excuses. So, okay, mommy, let's just say 2020 came, they seen the rat, they took the picture. Okay. They couldn't clean it up. Everything was shut down. But my whole thing is y'all already knew. And when y'all did open it up, this being the health department, and knowing that we're coming back from something as serious as this, an epidemic of COVID, you would think that they would thoroughly clean this place.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that at all.
Like I said, next week, y'all look for it. Y'all look for it.
But I don't know where the rat is in particular. Is it up in the rafters? Is it in the ceiling? But where is it in particular?
It was like by a window. I had to thank God, but like I told you, I had.
If it was now, that's kind of crazy. If it's sitting on the floor, visible by the window.
No, it was sitting up on the ledge.
Yeah, I don't
like by the window. The picture that I seen is like sitting up on the ledge. It's a dead rat, right? So when they show the next picture, you know it disintegrated a little bit, so it's a little bit littler, but you can see that it's clearly a rat. And then they show the cockroach.
It's a rat or a mouse?
Rats. R-A-T. But it was evidence of other rodent droppings, mice, rats and everything else like that and whatever. But it just being a health department, clean it up. How many times does the health department go around and shut down people's businesses? For the very
you keep calling it the health department. That's a clinic. That's not the health department.
Oh, well, it's a clinic, but it's still part of the health department.
It's part of the health system. It's not
part of the health system. Is the clinic. Anyway, it's the Department of Health. It's part of a Department of Health, and clean it up. Get that rat out there. We know that on 15 is right. Plenty of rats going in there to get tested for STD, but they don't want the rodent ones up in there. So get it cleaned up. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm going to say. There's a whole bunch of controversy about that's going on. Brandon Scott, I know you trying, but I just need you to try your best. Yeah. When you find out about stuff, stop making that comment about what it's been. We know. That's why we voted you in there to do something. The time is now. The time is now. That's all I'm saying. And I still love you. Pray for the brother. And now, they've been always messing with the girl, Marilyn Mosby. Now they got Nick Mosby name up in the news, baby. Tumbo, he done spent and billing it to the taxpayers that he done spent a little over $1,000 when he went to Preakness. Yes. They are saying that Nick Mosby chose out of what they say they had 11 levels of dining in Preakness. But anybody I know that went to Preakness spent that money. But they say no one else turned in the invoices but Nick Mosley, and he's going to have to prove how him attending the Preakness was doing work for the city. Okay, so they feeling some type of way because he spent $1,000 up here in this Preakness. They say he could have chose another level of dining, but he chose the 4-star level. And why was it necessary for him to sit here and dine to do work for the city? There's also some talk. Y'all know Brandon Scott is saying that he has a new method, a way the Safe Streets organization will be.
I got a comment on that one. I call that petty. I call that one petty.
What's that?
Because he spent $1,000.
Yeah, it was like 1,100. It's real petty.
I call that petty. I call that if they calling that out on him because he is the city council president, and in his status as city council president, it is in his jurisdiction to go visit other cities to see how they do things, festivals and all kinds of stuff, because they have to then come back and do the same thing here. And it's best that he goes and see how things are done in other cities, just in case he can improve stuff here. So I call bullshit on the fact that they're griping over $1,000.
Yes, like 11. Yeah, it was a little bit over $1,000, but yes, they say that he spent that on food, beverages, things of that nature. Wasn't nothing, wasn't no bets or nothing like that on no horses, but it's just real.
And if there is no rule on the amount of money you can spend, then you shouldn't be bringing this up. This is now it's being frivolous.
What they saying is the rule is that I forgot the terminology that they use, but saying, our state being a certain state, that whatever you do, if it's something like that, it has to be in work for the city. And so I guess they're saying that they can't imagine what he was doing at the Preakness on the work of the city. And it's funny that you say that, Monty. Like, I think that it was being petty, but I would like to
Mardi Gras.
Yes. I would like to
see
former mayors, these governors.
Oh, you said the Preakness, so you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh, then still, now I really call that out because he could have bought staff food. It could have been all kinds of stuff.
All that stuff.
Especially if he had security. He would have had security on him.
Right. You know they was already
trying to probably bought them lunch.
Yeah, they was already just now trying to mess with him too for another
but see, that's why I'm saying now people are just calling out things to be calling out things. He was working in his official, if he was at the Preakness, he was definitely working in his official capacity as city council president at the Preakness, which is a Baltimore City event.
Yeah.
That I'm calling that out. I'm calling bullshit on that one because there's no excuse for you asking and questioning him unless you out to get him.
Yes, and that's exactly what they out to do. That's exactly what they out to do. You know, his name hasn't really been in the news as much as they've been picking on his wife. Marilyn Mosby. You know, a lot of people were saying that, you know, he kind of sat in the backfield, was saying that, you know, he wasn't publicly out defending his wife and different things of that nature.
And that's what I'm saying. But who is, and then when you say that, who is nobody and nobody else did it? Who else would have submitted expense reports to the besides
because
him? He's the only one that would have submitted an expense report for himself. Everybody else would have submitted an expense report to him as their boss.
Okay, but they saying other people that attended. They named Marilyn Mosby, which was.
But she don't work for the city.
Yes,
she is the state attorney of the city.
They had named her and some other people, so they're saying like they named a couple of people that was in attendance, but were saying that but no invoices or whatever for him. But this is on the news. Like I'm like, really? Like now y'all coming to this man for $1,000? Like I know people that ain't city officials that went up there and spent that. So they're alleging as if, you know, like he did something wrong or like, you know, he unlawfully spent
because they're out
money
to get him. Anything that has to do with anybody in the city, they're always out to get you, and they'll use anything that they can find to build against you, whether it's relevant or not. And that right there is not relevant.
And tell them, and it's just like that, especially if you Black, because that's the point that I was ready to make.
He probably authorized people to do all kinds of things during that time in his official capacity as city council president.
My thoughts are lately, Monty,
and $1,000 is not nothing to actually throw a fit over. So, like, I mean, really, seriously, come on.
Oh, they was going off. So
any project that happens in Baltimore City definitely costs way more than $1,000. Any other project. So this, as far as expenses is concerned, is absolutely ridiculous and to be calling into question. That's the same thing that has to do with those damn gift cards that for Sheila Dixon.
Yeah,
it's not something that should be called into question. It's such a low dollar amount that we should not be overlooking the fact that she is the mayor of, she was the mayor of a $6 billion budget. And you calling me out for $1,000?
And they use anything petty.
That's what I'm saying. That's very petty. And it
because that's what I was ready to say.
That's what I was saying about. And that's another thing about that selective outrage, how the city was turning their backs on her for $1,500. That was outrageous to me. And now look where you are now, where crime is accelerated through the roof. And now, but remember back when she was in charge, there was not this damn mission for crime to be
you know what I felt like overhauled. If anything, and when it came back up, no, I did not vote for Miss Sheila Dixon. I didn't.
And that's why we're in the situation we're in now, always complaining and never knowing anything because people don't know.
No, I did not. You know what I'm saying? It was real messed up what they did for the system. But one thing I could say about Miss Dixon is when she was in the office, she really was for the people. I mean, you see Miss Dixon everywhere.
The streets was clean, the potholes was getting
filled. Baby, my car, everything. Yeah, they rolled to her. And that's just like the point that I was. Huh?
I haven't seen a street sweeper in I don't know how long.
I see them, but that's why when you see them, they weren't about getting you tickets. And that's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. Yeah, they back out there now. After what's your name, they back out there. Yeah.
And so are the potholes, though. The potholes are back out there, too.
Oh, the potholes, baby. The sinkholes. That's what they is. Because I don't know no pots that big. These day one rules is a mess. They is a mess. Y'all know I was just down up and the other day dealing with flat tires and everything else like that. And then guess what? I'm in this big truck to my struts, my shocks. I'm always at the shop getting them looked at. Because baby, as soon as you bump, I had some room for my tire. Never put them on. But look, y'all, we running down out of time. Time be flying when you having fun. Time be flying when you having fun. We know what it is and we know what it gives. It's more than life to dime. So you better live. I hope you live for everything that I talked about this show. And I hope not next week, because somebody's going on a little vacay, but the week after, you're going to join me right here live at 7 on the You Better Live radio show. It's always a pleasure. Come through and talk to me. You know I love to talk to you. What's up? What's up? What's what? Come and see me on a Thursday at 7, the You Better Live radio show with the goddess ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix. God loves you. God bless you. Until next time, y'all, you better live.